What's happening, guys? Welcome to episode 16 of the 10,000 Hours Project. It's currently a Friday morning at around 8 AM. You haven't seen me in a couple of days actually. I've just been really busy with work, family matters, and I've just been really focusing on my training this week. I just didn't want that distraction of filming. I just wanted to completely focus on my training. And like I've mentioned in previous videos, you know, I believe I'm a footballer first, an aspiring footballer first. That takes priority over the vlogging. Nonetheless, not a lot has happened over the last couple of days. Like I said, I've just been busy. I've clocked up a few hours of training as well. So over the course of Wednesday and Thursday, I totaled up an extra 5 hours of training. On Wednesday, I started my maximal strength phase. So that's the second phase in my 2018 training program. Starting to add a lot more weight to the bars, and I just did my upper body maximal strength session on the Wednesday. So this morning we're actually going to go in and do my lower body maximal strength phase, and you'll be definitely hearing a voiceover for it. Now that Wednesday night I also did a technical session, and is more with a focus of conditioning. So I just did my typical linear dribbling, you know, the 6 cones, and about 10 meters up I have that last cone. I got to come back around and go through the cones again to get back to the start. Also did a zigzag drill. But the only difference is this time I have less rest time, as the focus is on conditioning and how long I can produce the quality for under that stress of fatigue. Whereas the foundational phase really just focused on that technical isolation. So I just simply worked on that quality without any stress. I hope that makes sense. But Thursday's seen me have 2 hours of team training, and as a result I could only do a light technical session earlier on during the day. I don't want to be too fatigued because I really want to perform my team training as well. So now that you're all caught up, we can start focusing on what I'm performing today. So this morning I just did my first weigh-in for phase 2. It was my first weigh-in since the start of the training program. At the start of the training program I hit 75 kilos. This morning's weigh-in seen me hit 74.2 kilos. As I said, I'm pretty happy sticking in that 74 to 75 kilo range, as I just want to strip a small bit of body fat but also add a lot of strength, especially to my lower body and upper body, but without adding that extra bulk that will slow me down on the pitch. I mean, it's my ideal vision of an efficient footballer, is to strip that body fat, also not to be putting on too much bulk, as that extra weight from the fat and the bulk can really weigh you down on the pitch. For me personally, I wanted to strip that upper body bulk down. I think having my hernia operation really stopped me from going to the gym. I lost a lot of muscle mass as well. So in a way, it was a blessing in disguise. Like I said, got to see the positives in everything, guys. So it gave me a chance to start again, fresh. Just really reduce that bulk to strength ratio, where I can really focus on producing and improving my strength, as opposed to adding or sacrificing extra bulk. But yeah, I think not a lot of changes in that foundational phase. I mean, I was pretty happy with it. It's just getting my body prepared for the next few phases. I think both athletically and technically, I maybe improved a little bit, but that's not where the improvement's supposed to be made, not in phase 1. Phase 2, phase 3, this is where the real work starts. Anyway, so the plan today is to get my lower body maximal strength session in this morning, and then later tonight, after work, I'm going to go do a light technical session, probably a bit of passing on the wall hopefully. Again, I just want to emphasize on the light technical session tonight. I don't want to be doing a lower body maximal strength phase where I really exhaust those muscles, and tonight go ahead and do an intense dribbling session which will stress out those muscles even more, which makes me susceptible. I can't even say it. Susceptible? Susceptible to injuries. I'm probably still not saying it right. Anyway, so I'm really excited to get in the gym and get my lower body maximal strength session done. This morning I've just had my cereal with fruit on top and orange juice. Get those carbohydrates flowing, and we'll put them to good use right now. Alright, I'll see you guys at the gym. Alrighty, so first lower body maximal strength session of phase 2. So obviously I'm just performing a nice lower body warm up on the bike, get the blood flowing. Also, to further my warm up and to prevent more injuries, of course, you've got to perform your dynamic stretches. Make sure you're all warmed up, particularly before a high intensity strength session. Now, I didn't film my warm up set, but basically I have it without any weight, so I'm just using the bar, going for 10 repetitions. Again, just to get my muscles activated and getting them ready. Now, the second set I perform a progressive set, so it's not an official set, but especially in the maximal strength phase, you've got to progressively get to your highest weight. You don't want to put your body in shock, and again, there's a higher risk of injury. Now for the progressive set, I put on 60 kilos and hit 5 repetitions. Now I move the weight up and I officially do 3 sets for my maximal strength squat. Now I was pretty happy with this. I maxed out 80 kilos for 5 repetitions for my first week. Now this time last year I was hitting 100 kilos for 5 repetitions. So that's my aim, is to get up to that 100 kilos so I can finally challenge my body's limitations once again. Now shifting the focus to my core. Now this is a perfect example of adaptation to training volume. Now here I've added a 10 kilo weight plate just to add resistance, but as you can see here, I definitely feel it in my hernia and lower groin, and if you guys know, that's where I had my recent operation about 5 or 6 months ago. So I'm not quite ready to add that much resistance yet, but I still feel I can challenge it further. So instead of just doing regular sit-ups, I do 20 negative repetitions. So as you can see, I'm just holding it on the way down just to add that extra tension. It was a good sign that it wasn't causing too much tension in that groin area. Now if it was causing a lot of stress, obviously I would stop right there just to prevent any further injuries. And here I'm performing 20 leg raises, so obviously you can see I'm adding a lot more training volume to the maximal strength phase as opposed to the foundational phase where all I was performing was regular sit-ups and the plank. Whereas now I've built that foundation, like I said, I can challenge myself further. It's really important to me that I build those core muscles up, as I feel it'll make a really big difference to my athletic performance on the pitch. Now moving on to the maximal deadlift, now I'm trying to keep my squat volume and deadlift volume in sync, so I want my quads and hamstrings at the same strength level, just so there's no imbalances, and as you know, that causes a lot of muscle tears in those muscle groups respectively on the pitch today. So just like my squat, I'm hitting 80 kilos for 5 repetitions. Now I'll quickly mention, if you watch my foundational phase strength videos, I'm hitting 12 to 15 reps in terms of volume. Whereas now the maximal strength phase, I'm hitting 3 to 5 repetitions with obviously a lot more weight added on, as the focus is to gain as much strength as possible so I can eventually convert that into power in phase 3. So the maximal strength phase is going to last 4 weeks in total before I move on to the power phase. So back from the gym, and the first thing I always do is get my berry protein shake. You guys know it, just to kick that recovery process into gear. And of course 45 minutes to an hour after my berry protein shake, I always try and reinforce those carbohydrates and proteins into my system, and today I'm having 2 wholemeal chicken and egg wraps. That's it for now guys. Honestly, I'm just going to be working on the business and editing this video as well for the next hour. After that I've got coaching at the academy, as it's a Friday, so I'll be there until about 6:15, 6:30, and hopefully when I get home I can do a light technical session, passing against the wall, maybe my 1,000 touches drill. We'll see how it goes, see how my legs feel. They are currently dead, if I'm to be honest. I think the fact that my body's not used to the high training load or the high amount of weight as opposed to the foundational strength sessions that they've been used to over the past 4 weeks. Yeah, it's another day on the grind guys, nothing special, nothing spectacular at all, just logging my progress, clocking up my hours. And I know some of you might find this boring, it's going to be the same drills, same sort of format, same meals, but I feel this is the reality of someone aspiring to play at a really high level. I'm just showing my personal perspective. You know, and I'm a big believer in doing the same drills at higher intensity on a consistent daily basis. Hence why I started this project in the first place. Consistency and intensity, guys. If there's anything I want you to get out of this 10,000 hours project, is to realize that these 2 attributes are needed if you want to make it at a high level. Anyway, so I'm going to get ready for work, and hopefully I'll see you guys for my light technical session tonight. Alright, see you then. Yep, you read that right. So we're fast forwarding to 4:30 PM the following day. So my legs were absolutely dead after that maximal strength session. I mean, I kind of expected it since it was a higher training load and my body wasn't used to it yet. It was a new challenge for me. That's okay, as long as I get my recovery right, I know I'll progress. My strength will improve and I'll know I'm on the right track. Anyway, so instead of doing a light session yesterday after a maximal strength session, today I decided to perform an intense conditioning session. Now this is a very basic but effective conditioning drill, and you guys know from watching my training sessions last year, I always like to incorporate a ball into my fitness drills. Now just place 5 cones about 5 to 7 meters apart. You just got to dribble from one to the other, really making a precise sharp cut as I turn around the cones. Now hitting the 5 cones and coming all the way back to the start, that counts as 1 repetition. I do 5 reps in total, and that'll count as 1 set. So I do 2 sets with the right foot and 2 sets with the left foot, with 2 minutes recovery in between each set. Now here's another conditioning drill, so the 4-point ball mastery drill. And right here you're seeing my last set, and I always perform a freestyle method for 30 seconds as fast as I can, so I can really add that stress onto my legs. Now once the 30 seconds is up, I dribble as fast as I can around the 4 points, really focusing on my acceleration and deceleration as I cut around the corners. Now this drill is actually a lot harder than it looks. That initial 30-second ball mastery really takes it out of your legs. Now for the previous sets, I performed different variations such as the bell taps for 30 seconds, the V-shape, the L drag back in behind, the Brazilian cobras. Now I'm sure you can hear that motorcycle in the background, and this just spoiled a really good session. Now this attention-seeking twat really thought it'd be funny to get involved in my session, and I was not happy about it at all. It just ruined the rhythm, the flow of my session, as the focus was on building my heart rate and building my fitness, so that forced me to stop and rest, which I did not want to do. It just kept going on and on for 10-15 minutes straight. Anyways, I got an extra hour of training in today, so I clocked up at 3,559 hours. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to this space. If you want to join the 10,000 hours project, just read the description for the instructions on how to start. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next episode.